I see more guys lose systems because we don't pay attention. We make a mistake on tank placement. If you make a mistake on tank placement, you are ruined. And so we put up there 3 things that you take into account. You take into account rock, you take into account depth of plumbing, but really and truly the one thing you take into account is you take into account depth of your trenches. And so I've got a system out here, and the county says your trench bottom is going to be below natural grade. It's going to be some level below. Let's say you got an 18-inch trench bottom is what they give you. Very common in North Carolina. Probably the most common trench bottom you're going to see is 18 inches. So 18 inches down below here, down below grade, we're going to have trench bottom. We got a 12-inch product. Let's say it's rock and pipe. All right? We're there. You with me? I got stone all around, right? You with me? Got my hard skills? All right, so I walk out to this site, and I panic because I called for an inspection today, and I just called the tank manufacturer, and the tank manufacturer's on the way, and they said they could fit me in, but all they could do is fit me in first thing this morning. And so I come out here, and the very first thing I do is I go, I need to dig a tank hole, and I got to get it done in a hurry, right? Because they're coming. I don't want to leave them waiting. And so I say, Dad, I'm going to save. I'm going to make money on this job. I'm not going to put risers on. So I'm going to put my tank in a position where I don't have to put risers, because if I don't put risers on, how much does that save me? Where you talk? How much? I'm going to say less than that. How much does a riser cost, Connie? $50, 75 of these? All right, so that's $150. Let's compromise. So and that's the entire profit margin I bid on this job, because I bid it so tight. Because I'm a new installer and I want to go out of business quick. So I did this job tight, and I said, I'm going to put my tank in. And I remember Jonathan said I need to put it 6 inches below grade or less, and that's going to give me the appropriate. So I'm focused. I dig my tank hole. I'm 5 inches below grade right here, and I am patting myself on the back, right? And then now I've got to install my system. Most North Carolina septic tanks, how far below the top of that concrete tank is your outlet pipe? You're going to find out from your manufacturer before you ever start digging a tank hole. We're going to find out that on many of our tanks, your outlet pipe, a lot of our standard 1,000-gallon tanks, is 13 inches below the top of this concrete. We have a thickness of concrete up here. We have a freeboard space, air space up here. Then we have a 2-inch difference. This is my inlet end. This is my outlet. I'm 13 inches deep right here. Okay? All right? Now, does anybody see any problems developing so far? Yeah. How deep am I right here? Where do I have to deliver to? On 18. I'm actually going to deliver in a way that fills this trench up completely. I got to be, my pipe technically has to have enough fall to come where the bottom invert of my pipe comes to the top of the aggregate right there. Now I'm going to plumb it up to the pipe in the middle, but I've got to have enough fall to be able to get there. Is this tank buried that deep going to work? Nope. A tank that is flush mounted on a flat site, is typically going to give you about a 22-inch minimum installation depth. So if you get a shallow site on a relatively flat piece of land, you need to panic. And we're going to do this field exercise outside where I force you guys, using a laser and the installation depth, to tell me how deep we're going to dig the tank hole. And this is, I'm going to tell you, this is the most important thing you're going to learn on that site, on that field day. We have guys who've been doing this for years that still scratch their head and have to sit on the stump to try to figure out how deep that tank is going to go so they can get fall to the drain field. If you get out of the trough and you dig the tank hole first, you have basically messed up. All you could do to fix that then was to come in here, put a pump tank in, call the county and say I screwed up. They're going to revoke your permits. They're going to then reissue the permit as a pump system where then you can pump up that 10 inches. How happy is the homeowner going to be? Because what if you say, look, I'm going to make it right. I'm going to pay for the cost of that pump tank. I'm going to pay anything the permit costs. Why would they still be upset that it became a pump system? What else? Why would my dad be upset?
Every 5 years.
Every 5 years the government comes out on the property. Can you opt out of that?
Nope.
You can't pay your way out of that problem. So The tank is the tank hole depth is the last thing. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go lay out my entire system, visually put on the ground where it's gonna be, figure out what depth I'm gonna install, and I'm gonna work backwards. And if I've got a D-box in the mix, I'm gonna work back to my D-box. And we're gonna find out we've got some required fall to catching here in this. I gotta work that in. There's a little bit of figuring is gonna have to happen. Now, you guys in Western North Carolina, the Lord loves you for having to work on that slope. And so, a lot of times it's going to work itself out. Not always, because sometimes your approved area is going to be on the same contour that you're working on. It's going to be out here to the side. But a lot of times it's just going to, you dig 6 inches below and you work downhill, right? But Piedmont guys, and especially you Eastern guys, you have it harder than anybody else when it comes to this. Because you're going to be asked to put shallow systems in, and you're going to be asked to do, get gravity fall to them. So an at-grade system, this was at grade, ground surface was right here. Where would you have to put your tank to get gravity fall to it? Sticking out. It's not uncommon in Eastern North Carolina to have the top of the tank sticking out of the ground. 10 inches, 12 inches, 24 inches. Outer banks, they just get out sometimes and unload them on top of the ground. The tank, you're gonna find out, is the one piece of equipment that does not have to have a minimum cover on top of it. But tank placement is a result of the drain. The drain field owns us, and we're gonna react based on that installation depth here before we decide where to put that. Is that clear? Questions on that? You're gonna do the math outside with a laser in your hand, and you're gonna figure it out. So you get a chance. And I think maybe when we get to the videos, I actually want to show a couple of them, so I'll bring them up.